Hey guys, my name is Shane. I have been meaning to do this for a while now, but when I was setting up my camp out here, I got a lot of information from this group and also from YouTube, from a lot of great people there about how to do it. And so I thought I would try to put some stuff back on the internet. A lot of what I see about specifically these Davis tents that I'm going to talk about today is kind of, it looks too good to be true. And they're great tents, but I couldn't really ever find an honest answer to my question, I thought, which was, what happens if you set this thing up truly in the woods and leave it for a long time? And so I thought I'd record a little video and kind of walk you guys around our camp here. We sit in the middle of about 20,000 acres of undeveloped public use land, and we have about a small inholding within that area. So we're pretty remote. Takes somewhere between half an hour and 45 minutes from the asphalt to get here, over kind of rough roads. It's a beautiful place and we love it, but it takes a little bit of effort to spend time out here. So let's look at the tent. This tent is a 16 by 20 that we bought from Davis last year. It sits on a platform. It has been up for 18 months this month. So you're going to look at 18 months of wear. And it sits on a platform that we built directly on the ground. The ground here is really rocky. It doesn't shift. It doesn't really move. It doesn't erode, except in places where where it's already started eroding. And so we just put treated lumber directly on grade and built this deck that you see here. Inside we used Advantech flooring, which I wasn't going to do. I was going to use deck boards, and then I had a builder friend of mine just was like, why in the world would you put deck boards in there when you could put Advantech? And I said, well, it's not really a watertight environment. He goes, Advantech doesn't care. That stuff will last forever. And so far it really has. I read a bunch of reviews about it. It's also cheaper than doing deck boards, or was for us at the time. But the big advantage is you end up with a really nice flat, airtight floor. So where the deck boards, you have all of these cracks in between them, you don't have that with Advantech. It's sealed. So this is inside our tent. It's held up really nicely for the amount of abuse that it's taken. I know that we've seen 30-mile-an-hour winds with gusts to 40 here. We have that recorded. We've seen some hail. We've seen some other things. It's not going to last through everything. If a tree falls on it, we're going to have a problem. Some other things, if it catches fire or big hail hits it, we're going to have some problems. The stove has been amazing. I love it. After I figured out how to kind of keep water out of it, because we leave it set up all the time, it has really done well. It's a little dirtier in here than it usually is. It's burn season here. I'm a little bit dirtier than I usually am. It's burn season here, so I spent the last 4 days on a tractor and cutting fire breaks and then burning a lot. So and haven't built a shower here yet. So pretty dirty, pretty dusty right now, but it's not always. So we just have like a kitchen area here, and then we have storage. These IP67 bins have worked really great for us. We haven't had anything get into them. The only large animal that we've had in the tent is a domestic dog. And he came in and licked all the plates, and he was not our dog, he was a wild domestic dog, but licked all the plates and ate the leather sheath off of my hatchet for some reason. Well, he was hungry, I'm sure. But we haven't had any hogs or anything else come in, raccoons, that I can tell. We do have cotton rats, and the cotton rats have done some damage to the tent, and I'll show you some of that and talk to you about, I don't know that we fixed it, but the things we've done to kind of help that. We custom ordered the tent. I put a ton of windows in it, and you can see I put 2 doors, one on each end, one so I could walk out onto the porch, and one so that I could walk in on grade in the back or front or whatever you want to call it. We sleep on cots. They get put vertical during the day, and when we're not here especially, all of the soft surfaces I try to turn vertical. It keeps the cotton rats and the mice off of them. I didn't find a whole lot of people talking about mice, and I hope that's because you guys don't have any mice. I don't think that's true, but there are mice. They do cause damage. They do cause damage to the tent. For us, our mice seem to prefer the flaps at the bottom. So this is the, let's see if I can get it for you. This is the flap on the front door that really got damaged, and they chewed just a little bit, if you can see right here on the bottom of the flap, but they haven't chewed a ton on the canvas. I honestly figured that I might put it up and come back a month later and it would be chewed full of holes, and that hasn't been the case so far. They haven't messed with it a whole lot, but under where the doors are, where they come in and out, that is where the damage has occurred, and then a little bit around the outside, but not much. You can also see right here, there's a bag of mothballs, and my wife hates mothballs. My kids hate mothballs. I don't mind them. My great grandmother's kept them everywhere, so I'm kind of used to it. But when we started just leaving a bag of mothballs by each door when we left and closed the doors up, the signs of rodents in the tent, meaning waste, litter, things being chewed inside the tent, all that disappeared. We didn't have any more, have not seen that since. So maybe that really does work. A lot of people use the 5-gallon bucket trick. I didn't really want to have to come and deal with 5 gallons of rotting water and cotton rat carcasses. Cotton rats are not little tiny mice. They're pretty big. And so I've not done that so far. And I have dogs and they're out here all the time, so I'm not putting poison out. Let's walk around the outside. So one thing I will tell you, Davis made sure to tell me when I told them that I was going to put this on a platform that the tent is not exactly 16 feet wide. I think it's like 15.8 or something. And so they were like, hey, make sure that you build your platform 15.8 wide so that it will line up on the edges. Don't build it 16. And so I did, and that worked awesome. What I didn't tell them was that I was gonna separate I was gonna put 2 different surfaces on the deck. And so they did not tell me the length of the tent. I don't fault them for that. I should have asked more detailed questions. Now I know, and now I'm telling you, so hopefully you know. The tent is not only not 16 feet wide, it is not 20 feet long. So you can see here, there's Advantech hanging out from the tent. And the reason we did that is because we built exactly 20 feet linear of Advantech, and then switched to decking right here. And then the tent is like 6 inches or 5 inches shy of 20 feet long. And I should have realized that and didn't. So that's on me. It's not a big deal. I think eventually when I take the tent down and send it back to Davis to have some repairs done or whatever, I will most likely move the tent all the way back to cover the back Advantech and rip the front Advantech right here and add another deck board so that all of the Advantech is covered. But Advantech can be like, I mean, I saw videos of guys pulling Advantech out of their leaf pile after 7 years and cutting it, and the core was still good. It has really held up well. That stuff's, it's a premium product. It's pretty amazing. I attached my tent down here with like timber locks. I didn't want to have to deal with screws. I could have just used wood screws and washers or whatever. I had these around. They're expensive. It's a ridiculous use for them. But they were about the right size. And I knew, because they were spline drive, that if I had to take the tent down, that I could get them out. They're strong. You can back them out. You're not going to strip them out like a Phillips or even an 8-point deck screw. So that's what I used. See if I can get you a better picture there. And those are 3 inches long or something, 2.5 maybe. And they just hold the side of the tent down. I saw in the forums the other day, somebody had put the vinyl to the outside of the deck, so that it was hanging down the outside like a drip rail or something. The vinyl goes on the inside so that it helps seal air, and then the floor goes down on top of that. The floor has been great. I have the 3/4 floor. I don't mind that the front area is wood. We pile is exposed wood. We pile a bunch of firewood up there and kindling and make a mess, and so that can kind of be on that at night. Not right now, obviously, but at night we typically sweep this out, kind of clean things up a little bit, try to keep it halfway decent. I mean, it's dusty out here, it's dirty, it's camping, so I'm not trying to live inside a house. If I wanted that, I would have built a cabin. As a matter of fact, I built this specifically because I didn't want to be inside a building when I'm out here. I wanted to be able to hear the birds and the wind and the fronts blow in and all of those things. And 18 months later, I don't regret it at all. It's been completely amazing. The 1-inch conduit is genius. It's so strong. It's amazing to me the wind that it's held. It's been pretty fantastic. On ordering the tent, there are a couple things that I would probably do different. I ordered 2 doors, and because it's hot where I am in the summer, I ordered 6 windows. I will tell you that every one of those windows, before we put the rain fly on, which you should order a rain fly, you should get a rain fly. Every one of those windows leaked water through the seams. And that's just the design of canvas tents. I don't think there's any that would be any different. Zippers that are not sealed are gonna leak. And so what hasn't happened is that we have not ever opened all 6 of those windows. So if I was gonna do it again, I would probably save some money, not order as many windows. My buddy built a camp for his family right there just a couple weeks ago, and he on purpose got 1 window, 1 door, based on my experiences. I think it's going to work out great for him, and that is a Davis tent. He was really impressed with them, as am I, and so he ordered one. I do have the screen doors. I've never put them on. It's not real buggy here, and I think if I left them on, that the cotton rats and the mice would just there would be nothing left the next time I came. Based on what I've seen that they like to chew, that seems like a seems like a non-starter. So I think that's, one more thing. Just talk to the Davis Tent people, and they're awesome, they're amazing. Just ask them what to do about a stove jack. I just ordered the kit with a vertical stove jack, and then I came back and put the rain flap on, and there was all this different stuff. But basically what happened is, you can see right here, this shadow, this is where the original canvas rain flap was. And what happened is, it had leaves pile up behind it, and then it came, this is the old straps, and then it came unfurled and came down and laid up against the stovepipe on the outside of the tent. And it didn't catch fire, but it smoldered enough that it burned small holes in the tent, and panicked all of us, because we thought the tent was going to catch on fire. We did get the fire treated tent, so didn't catch on fire. Smoldered some holes in it. We cut the flap off. It was useless. It was pretty smoldered up. And now there's a flap, if you can see right here. There's a canvas flap sewn onto my rain fly. I asked Davis to do that for me, so that here in a couple months, when I pull the stove jack out for the summer, I can roll that down, cover that up. They sent me a repair kit. I just haven't done it yet. It looks super simple, and I've been too busy doing other things, and it hasn't bothered me, I guess. So I need to get that done so that it doesn't tear anymore, and make the problem worse. But the patch kits are easy. I thought I was gonna have to learn to sew and whatever. It's an adhesive, and you cut out a patch and glue it on. So other than that, I mean, this is kind of how we leave it. We leave some stuff in here. We have full set of dishes and silverware, all the necessary items, and then use cast iron cookware, all the things that go along with it. And that's kind of it in a nutshell. Make sure your tent, you know what your tent size is. Make sure that you understand that the tent is going to get stained and dirty, and damaged, and that you might have to deal with mice. Figure out how you're going to build your deck so that you can build it up off the ground, and then order your tent and go have fun in the woods, man. Enjoy. Bye.